In today's class, we will see the problems on Fourier transform. The problem is find the infinite Fourier cosine transform of f of x is equal to e raised to minus x square. The solution of this problem will see now. The problem is find the infinite Fourier cosine transform of e raised to minus x square. Solution: they have given the function f of x is equal to e raised to minus x square. We have the Fourier cosine transform is given by the Fourier cosine transform is fc of u is equal to integration 0 to infinity f of x cos of ux into dx. So here we will apply the value of f of x. So therefore fc of u is equal to integral 0 to infinity. This fx value will replace what is e raised to minus x square. E raised to minus x square, then cos of ux into dx as it is. But you can observe here we need to integrate this function, that is e raised to minus x square into cos of ux. But here if it is e raised to x, we can go for means both here differentiation of e raised to minus x square is also what here it will be continuous. We cannot stop in a particular differentiation, or if you consider cos of ux for differentiation, then it is means we cannot apply u into v formula for this given function. So therefore what happens here, for because at a certain differentiation it is not going to become 0 if you consider u as e raised to minus x square or u as cos of ux. In such cases what we'll do here, so this integral to be evaluated by using Leibniz rule for differentiation under the integral sign. So what happens here, so we apply differentiation with differentiation with respect to u. Okay, be careful. Differentiation with respect to u using Leibniz rule. So what happens, we'll see here. So how to apply Leibniz rule. So what happens here, we are doing means we need to differentiate under the integral sign with respect to u, means with respect to u means x function will be what here considered as what here constant. So if you are applying Leibniz rule, so at that time what happens here, differentiation of this outside of integral, this is outside of the integral, so this will become what here d by du of fc of u, okay, is equal to integral 0 to infinity, this is as it is, e raised to minus x square and this dx as it is, e raised to minus x square as it is, and dx is also as it is only. So differentiation means what happens here, dou by dou u of cos of ux. So if you are doing under integral sign, so we need to go out here partial derivative. So once we got this, because e raised to minus x square is constant with respect to u partially, so therefore what happens here, 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square. So differentiation of cos of ux with respect to u will be minus sine of ux into differentiation of ux with respect to x will be what with respect to u will be what here u means differentiation of ux with respect to u will be what here x into dx as it is, into dx as it is. Now we'll simplify again. So what happens will be the simplification, so which is nothing but integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square into sine of ux into this minus, I will write here minus. So what I will write here, I will multiply, divide and multiply 2 into this x. Okay, this 2 going to be cancelled and we'll get back our previous. So why I am writing this one, so if you integrate, what happens here, so integration of e raised to minus x square will be what here e raised to minus x square into differentiation of minus x square will be what here minus 2x will get. So to create that situation, so this minus x we have left here, that for minus x will multiply this 2 and divide by 2 will get this step here. So now what happens, we'll see here. So how to simplify this integral, so therefore you cross multiply this 2 to the left hand side, or 2 times df upon du is equal to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square. So I will write in this way, so we'll write sine of ux, okay, into e raised to minus x square into minus 2x into dx. So we'll go for integrating RHS by parts now. Now integrating RHS by parts we have. So we'll see what happens. So 2 times dfc upon du is equal to, so integration by parts, so we'll keep sine of ux into e raised to minus x square. If you apply by parts for this, e raised to x square 0 to infinity minus integration 0 to infinity, means by parts we'll need to apply e raised to minus x square into differentiation of sine ux is what here cos of ux into u, because we are differentiating with respect to x here, into dx. So which is nothing but, so here what happens, conditions what here, if you apply upper and lower limit for what here e to the x function, that is but e raised to minus x square will tends to 0, as if you apply x is equal to infinity. If you apply x is equal to infinity here, it will turn to what here 0, and also if you apply lower limit, sine of 0 will be what here 0. So what happens here, if you apply both infinity, then it will be 0, and if you apply 0, sine 0 is also what here 0. So if you apply upper and lower limit, this will vanish completely. So therefore what we are going to left here, 2 times dfc upon du is equal to 0. If you I will write it here, if you apply upper limit 0, minus if you apply lower limit, then also it is 0, minus this u is a constant because we are integrating with respect to x. U is a constant, integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square into cos of ux into dx. So therefore which is nothing but 2 dfc upon du is equal to minus u But this integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square cos of ux, you go back here, I will show you the beginning part. You can observe here this part, integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square cos of ux dx is nothing but fc of u. So that part will replace here. So what happens here? So I can say that integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square cos of ux dx can be replaced by what here? fc of u. Okay. So on simplification, so here we'll go for by parts. Means variable separation method. F function will bring it down here, u function will keep as it is, so which implies 2 times dfc upon fc is equal to minus u into this du on simplification. Okay, or you can I will say that this 2 also will multiply to the right hand side. So on variable separation we got this. So if you take integration on both sides, on integration what happens here? Integration of 1 upon fc with respect to df is nothing but what here? Log of fc is equal to integration of minus, as it is integration of u will be what is u square upon 2, that 2 into this 2 will become 4, it will become u square upon 4 plus log of k. I will take plus log of k, where log of k is a constant here, where log of k will consider as what here? Constant. Now on I will take it what here, if you take log on left hand side, log of fc minus log of k is equal to minus u square upon 4. So on logarithmic property it will become log of fc upon k is equal to minus u square upon 4. Or if you shift this log to the right hand side, it will become fc upon k is equal to, if you shift log on to the right hand side, it will become e, and the given function what we have on the right hand side, it will go to what here? Power, that is minus u square upon 4. Or I can say that, or fc of u will become what here? K you multiply k times e raised to minus u square upon 4. So we'll give this as equation number 2, and the given integral in the beginning part what we have, that is this will give equation number 1. So to get the value of the constant k and all, so we need to simplify now. So this is our equation number 1, and equation number 2 what we got right now, that is fc of u is equal to k times e raised to minus u square upon 4. So now to find k, let us, okay, to find k, put u is equal to 0 in equation 1 and in equation number 2. If you put in 1 gives, so what is 1? We'll go back now. 1 is fc of u is equal to 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square cos of ux into dx. So what we are putting? Put u is equal to 0. If you put u is equal to 0, fc of 0, 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square cos of 0 into dx it will be. So we'll rewrite that one. If you put u is equal to 0 in 1, it will become fc of 0 integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square into cos of d 0 into dx, which is nothing but fc of 0 is equal to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square into dx, because cos of 0 is 1. Similarly, if you put u is equal to 0 into gives what here, it will gives fc of 0 is equal to k times e raised to it is minus u square upon 4, it will become e raised to 0. So e raised to 0, which is nothing but e raised to 0 is 1, that is k. So therefore I can say that fc of 0 is equal to k in equation number 2. So therefore I can say that. But remember, uh, but we know that integration of 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square dx is always given by the beta and gamma function. It is root pi by 2. This remember result you need to remember. So as per the this result, right hand side of your equation, if you put a in 1 u is equal to 0, right hand side what function is getting, it is direct integration, and the value of that integration is nothing but root pi by 2. So therefore if you compare the both the result from 1 and 2, so fc of 0 is k, and here fc of 0 is equal to integration of e raised to integration of 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square dx. So what we can conclude from these two is that here k is equal to root pi by 2, means we got the value of what here, k. So therefore substituting this value in equation number 2, substituting this value, substituting k value into, so what we'll get here, we'll get fc of u is equal to root pi by 2 into e raised to minus u square upon 4. So this is a required Fourier cosine transform of the given function e raised to minus x square. One of the important question. So little bit change in the steps while applying the integration and all. So you need to remember this.